I'm trying to get some measurements right for Ubi here, roughly until like his neck is about 5 inches, and then his width, maximum 6 inches. His height to his head is 10 inches. Yeah, I was checking it again. I'm going to make it like 8 inches. That should be more doable. So my wife just gave me a great idea. I don't have access to Fusion 360 anymore, and I don't plan on buying it again for the price that it's at for the entire year. So I want to try to switch to OpenCAD. And she said I should try using ChatGPT. At first I was kind of confused, but now I could see that it could help me actually generate the code that I need to develop this idea into a 3D model. So I was thinking how I can make it so he could be at the table but not be able to jump out, and I think I have a great idea. I think I'm going to go for a box kind of design where he'll have a hole to peek out his head. So he's at the right height at the dinner table, eat his food, and we can see his head, but he won't be able to jump out onto the table. Alright, so here's the completed design. This is a little dowel rod that will stop him from coming out of here. And this is where his food items will go. Probably 3D print some things for him to go in there, for like a water bowl and a maze bowl for his food. And I might add little feet right here, and then the way all these pieces are going to be put together is with dowel rods to hold everything in place. Alright, so I got the materials I needed, some of my tools, and some other tools I can give to buy from Lowe's. I want to guess how much it was just to buy this, the stuffing bags right here. So here's an interview with everything that I bought. And then also that one over there, the dowels included. Well, that was right around, not bad, was right around $300. So, but all the stuff has good stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna get all this stuff out of these boxes and start getting everything ready. And then I'm also charging up my GoPro so I can start filming in the correct portrait here for you guys. Oh my god, thank god I'm using a table. So I got this one out of the package using my knife ray. And this had like a little thing holding it down right here, and I went like that. And this seems so freaking sharp, it just went through that table like freaking butter. Thank god it stopped it, or else it would have kept on going and stabbed me right in the leg. My plan is to rough cut these pieces, so past that line with this saw right here, and then slowly bring it down with the planer, and then sand it down to the final finish. Once all three of those bottom pieces are put together so that they have the same finish when they're done. So this is my next step right here. That involves straight flat on the bottom side here, assuming that this concrete pad is flat. And then I'm going to sand down those top parts until they're all the same. And hopefully level, but we'll see. Probably not. So I ended up messing up really bad. I was trying to use the little baby chills because I don't have to sand so much, right? Whack, freaking whole thing just fucking gone. Okay, I was kind of worried that I'm probably not going to have enough wood because I only got enough to make enough for this project, but I was thinking about it. I could just reuse this piece somewhere else and still have enough to get another 28-inch piece, because these are my biggest ones. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try something different this time. I'm going to try taping it around the edge where I'm cutting it, hopefully stop so much blowout when I get it by handsaw. That way I could get closer to it, to the 3/8 of an inch, hopefully maybe like 1/16, 1/8, something like that, where it could be a lot closer, so that way sanding doesn't take 5 hours for just 3 boards. I just tried to salvage this one, and I'm not even able to get this one to 28 inches, just in the wind, honestly. And now it's raining out here, all this stuff, and it's still sunny outside. I don't know if I should just keep on working. We'll pack it all up. Fucking Mega sale.
Hi, so this is Future Aaron. I just wanted to give a small recap on day one. I was barely able to cut the wood, and I was thinking I was going to be able to sand it down all to the right size. You could see I had all three pieces kind of cut out at 28 inches where they're supposed to be, but I just couldn't sand them down. They were rounding over, and then the blowout, it was just absolutely terrible. Day one was terrible. And day two, I knew I needed to go back to the store to buy more tools. And I wasn't going to stop until I found success.
They figured out a system that's actually working now. You could see that these three pieces are extremely similar in theirs. Anyway, where the hell? Okay. So I got one of these just to make sure I'm doing a 90-degree cut. I'm masking it off with tape, getting my measurement every single time, and consistently the same way with my measuring tape. The speed square this time. And I think it came out, those pieces are very, very similar, so that's gonna be usable compared to these pieces from yesterday. And I'm using 24 teeth. I also bought like 18 teeth because that was what was recommended online. But 24 teeth does work. It's just slow, but the cut that it's giving me is just really good, and there's no blowout at all with it. So I'd say it's going really well. The next step is to try to figure out how I'm gonna put them all together with the dowel pins. So I'm gonna probably experiment with these pieces first, and then once I have it down, I'll do it with these pieces and then start cutting out my other parts.
So at this point, I thought I was doing so good, and my pieces were coming out great. They were the right size. They weren't all messed up with blowout. I wasn't going to have to sand them down for literally 5 hours to get them all the same size. So I was really happy at this point. But this next part really was the biggest challenge for me. And I had to come up with my own 3D print to actually help me, because what the store had, drill guide, just wasn't working. It was just absolutely terrible. Or it wasn't terrible, but it's just too big.
This is my initial plan. I'm gonna draw out a quarter inch hole under the sides where they go. I'm gonna go half and an eighth. What's half plus an eighth of an inch? So that's halfway up a dowel rod for one side, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. And hopefully these will just hammer in with some glue, and then just use some clamps and pull it all together. See how that does. And then if that does well, I'm going to do it with these pieces here. I'm not sure how many holes I'm going to have to make. I'm just going to start with one on each end for these starter pieces. All right, so I completed my test, and I could say right away that I'm going to need a better way to center out the holes that I'm drilling, because they were going way off center. And that makes it so that this edge right here is not lined up very well on it. So that's not going to do. So I'm going to test drilling with a center punch, which should help me line up the hole, because I don't have a smaller bit than that, unfortunately. Don't know, here's me with the center punch, and you can see some of them are okay, then some of them are off. I just don't understand how people get so close with me. It's crazy. And it's a very small little punch, too, at the very end of it. I don't know what to do. So at this point, it was at the end of the weekend. It had been a long day of me trying to figure out how to get these holes centered on the edges of these boards. It was just such a difficult task with what I had. I didn't have any way of firmly holding down the objects, because the clamps I had were just not working for the table that I had. It was a little folding table, and it was so small, and I just had a very cluttered space and just wasn't working out very well. And I had to go to work after this, so day 3 is going to be this next weekend. So what I did is I went back to the store, bought more tools, a table, and I bought a drill guide, which should allow me to line up where I need to, with the holes, make it so that the drill only has one way to go, which is completely parallel, which was the biggest issue I was having. The dowel rods were sticking out at weird angles. It just wasn't going well. This little thing right here is absolutely amazing. How much it increases my accuracy with making center holes, 7 drill holes on the edge of the board. Just stupendous. I just wanted to give you a very clear demonstration. This tool, it would be great in a lot of circumstances, but on the edge of the piece of wood right here where any of those dowel holes to go, it does not work really well. I also added this little pencil lines in, because it's kind of hard to line up those little tiny triangles with your lines on the board. But this does work, and with a clamp to hold it on there, it works pretty well. In a situation where you're making these kind of holes on this side of the board, this would be really good. But this little 3D printed design that I made, just basically took this idea and made it specifically for this job, for this piece of wood. Or not this piece of wood specifically, but this kind of wood. I've got the thickness of it, and then I made this little thing. That makes it extremely easy just to line up. All you have to do is put a line going this way. You don't even really need a center line with this. You can put it on there if you really want to, but it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't change it. And then you simply just send your drill down here, and then you will get a center hole. The biggest issue I have is this is the one I've been using. The drill will easily go right through this plastic, and then it eventually got off center again, and then it was kind of pointless. So I ended up making more of them, this time, way thicker. But I was kind of defeated at this point, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it. And I just kept on chugging along, getting those dowel rods into those pieces, and then putting them together. And I also ended up getting some screws too, because I just wasn't going to accept failure at this point, and the results are just not good at all. I'll go outside and show you where I'm at for day 3. It's just kind of sad.
You ready for this? You sure you're ready for this? Yep, this is what I have so far. As you can see, the dowel rods are not really helping too much. Where I use screws, that's actually staying in there. I also have nails too. I didn't use any of them on here, but it seems like screws are the way to go. I was already having way less issues with them. I just need to figure out how to screw certain parts together. I had ideas, but my little template thing that I made to make those drill holes was messed up, and I still needed to make those holes for it. But I just was like, I'm just gonna push through and get this done and glue it together, and maybe these clamps will make it look better. But no, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do anything else today, but here's the table I bought. I got a little tote box, I mean. This is the other idea I tried to do. It was a jig for my drill to slide up into the point, so that way I could get a consistent drill, but those little drill bits at the end of it move around regardless of how constrained it is. It's just, I need like a drill press, but I can't afford a drill press. So yeah. I just wanted to end this video off by saying you should check out my blog. I have more of a consistent story written there about this. And you could find the 3D models for the little pieces and everything, and also the design that I'm going for. You could find that website at aaronsdiy.com. No dashes, no spaces. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.